So it is September 15th, 2025. About 10 years have passed since the release of Undertale, and I just wanted to talk about my personal experience with the game since it came out when I was 13, middle school, about 8th grade. This friend of mine had introduced me to the game. He just told me to go get it and didn't elaborate any further and just watched me play it. And I played this like your typical RPG. I just kind of killed everyone, but not like everyone. So I didn't really understand the whole mercy stuff, but I was just playing it like an RPG, like typical, like not really thinking much of it. But I did enjoy it, and then the really big hitter was towards the end of realizing like the repercussions of my actions, and yeah, it was just sort of this game that was really surreal and to like flip the genre like on a different perspective than I had seen prior. So this kind of game is pretty special to me because it's got a lot of themes about like like views on life and just kind of like these views of optimism and pessimism and nihilism and such things. And like each character is really complex. Like even the ones I didn't really understand, like Flowey or Kara, I just kind of figured they were just pure evil when I was younger. But like looking back, I can see they're very complicated characters too. And the level of writing in this game is very intricate and unique. So I have like played through this game a lot. I'm in on Steam. That's where I originally played it. I have about, let's see here. It says 132 hours. I mean, I played a little bit more to do like a true pacifist like one last time on Steam. But yeah, during middle school I had like 128 of those hours were in middle school. So it's very special to me. I played it inside and out. I did like pretty much everything I could. But like there's still niche things I'm learning about today. But uh it's it's hard to find words for it. It's definitely one that changed my life, which I know is a big that's a very common thing to say, but I think I learned over time, just like looking back at the game, that how to like kind of treat people, like how like all the monsters. Like initially playing through, I was just like, oh, these are enemies to be defeated, to be killed. But like each monster has their own hopes and dreams, and they're all like they're not really humans, but they're people, if that makes sense. But and it's also got this sort of perspective, especially in like certain routes, about like how destructive humanity is, and how maybe we should try to be better. Which which is definitely something I needed to hear, given current events and such. Like I feel like we're not going a good direction with society. Like not even going into political things. I just think like we're sort of approaching like dark times, just for anyone. And it's a little scary, but yeah. If I could look back now, like who I was like when I was 13, I'd tell them to maybe read the story a little closer, and to really think about it. Because back when I was 13, I wasn't very good at talking. I'm still not, but I was definitely I grew up like not really knowing how to express myself properly. Like I would get really talkative, like and like talking about what I really like, and then like I wouldn't really. I'd either be talking a lot or just kind of be in my shell. And I did have aspirations for like kind of doing YouTube stuff like any other kid did. More recently, I just kind of gave up on that, but I do want to like try to just do my own show thing. Like I could never do something like like I can write scripts and stuff, but I'm just like winging it most of the time, and I'm just like I don't even have a script for this. I'm just going off of my head, but it's it's a difficult thing growing up like very different like elementary and middle school where I felt very excluded, especially with elementary. Middle school, not so much. I mean, I still had friends, but like they came and went. Um, Even the one that introduced me to Undertale, he eventually left that same like school year. But um, I do miss him. But because I had a lot of fun talking with him about such things like Undertale and um, other Nintendo things. Like he introduced me to one of my favorites, Wario Land 3, which that's the game that's inspired me to make my own game. Actually, Undertale was the game that like he introduced me to the Game Maker Studio engine, and I took a lot of interest in that, and I ended up studying that a little bit in the later years of my high school years. And I still have a license to Game Maker Studio 2 today, which I am very slowly making progress on that game. Like, as in, like, I made like one room and like some like movement options and such. So there's that, but I I just have the most of the ideas in my head, and I haven't really gotten to like putting them down on paper. But it is kind of inspiring when I think about like Toby Fox's the sort of journey he went through, because I think the idea for well, it's a kind of complicated because I guess he thought of the game Deltarune first before Undertale, like, and but I'd count Undertale as a part of Deltarune's life cycle too, and he's still making Deltarune now, and he's got a team of people, which I hope he does really well on it. Which I've really enjoyed Deltarune as well. I'll go into Deltarune a little more later because that first chapter came out when I was in high school, but just the point is, it's like your projects will take a long time, especially if they're like a big passionate project. But I suppose I shouldn't give up on like my dreams, and neither should those listening. And yeah, I'm sorry if I'm pausing so much. I'm just kind of ad-libbing this because I'm too lazy to write a whole script right now, and plus I sound very monotone if I was reading off a script. And if you hear fidgets in the background, that's on me because I like to fidget a little. But Undertale, we'll go back to when I started playing it. My friend, after I finished the neutral, I was actually streaming on the school MacBook to him on a FaceTime the neutral boss final fight, and it was really crazy, and I was like, what's going on and all this. I know it's like almost everyone's played this game, but like I don't aside from like the background footage, I don't want to like give away too much because this is meant to be sort of just something you could listen to. But I just I went in completely blind, like I didn't know what to do, and he gave me like these pieces of notebook paper with like instructions on what to do, but they were vague enough that like I like could just like go in and like not know what happens next. And it was I think that was the ideal way, is to go in blind, but it's kind of unfortunate that it has gotten super popular, which that's great, but like the double-edged sword is that people are going to like spoil the game for a lot of people that haven't played it, and that kind of takes away from the appeal of it, because I feel like a lot of its appeal comes from being kind of baited into this experience, and it's just like I think it's best for just not knowing like anything at all. And that's how I went into Deltarune as well. That's how I've gone in with each chapter. Even chapter 1 of Deltarune, when it came out as the survey program, I legit didn't know what to think. I didn't know about the whole ARG stuff that Toby was doing. So I was just like, oh, a survey, I'll just install this, and I didn't think anything of it. Then it was a game, and I was like, oh, okay. And it went on from there for each chapter. But yeah, I think some people should learn about like the courtesy of like I guess keeping like the story details of a game like on their reps. I mean, I get it if it's like something like giant, like a spoiler that's like pretty well known pop culturally, like Darth Vader being Luke's father, or or Aerith dying in Final Fantasy VII, like things like that. I get it because like just everyone knows. But I mean, with Undertale, it's just like I think the appeal of it is that you don't know what it's supposed to be, a subversion of your expectations, and if you go in knowing it's supposed to subvert your expectations, it might take away from it like just your own like blind experience and being able to really appreciate that. I know some people, like I know, like haven't really played the game because like they kind of just know what's happened, like not the intricate parts of it, but like they just know the main events, which is a shame because I think it's a really good game to experience that regardless. But I understand where they're coming from. Anyways, yeah, the game's got a pretty good art style. It's got a spectacular soundtrack, which I can't believe Toby Fox was winging it mainly. Which I feel like he's lying about not having aspirations for music before Homestuck his career with the webcomic. But yeah, this game it connected me with a lot of people because a lot of people liked it. Although I'm not friends with a lot of these people anymore. Well, I not that these friendships ended badly, but like I haven't seen them in a while. I still like cherish the times I had with them, even if they had to end. It's nice that they happened at all. But I think it's a nice thing to just sort of navigate yourself in a world uh, that doesn't really present itself to you. Like, I mean, maybe in a way Undertale's kind of like real life, because you don't really get a good idea of what... Okay, that sounded bad out of context. You don't fall into a mountain of meat monsters that like spaghetti, but I mean it in the sense of like not knowing what to do, and like it's like kind of figuring out how to treat people for yourself, and it being kind of a measure of character. Like I think it could be argued that Undertale is sort of a Rorschach test of sorts, like testing the morality within the player. And yeah, it's something. It's a game that's got a lot of philosophy in it that could be definitely delved into, which like I would go into, but it's like it's too much for my head right now. I'd have to get a script, but even then I kind of ad lib. So yeah, and there's a lot of games this Undertale introduced me to. Like I think I believed I played Earthbound after Undertale, which I learned about a little bit shortly. Might have learned about it at the same time. I don't remember because I think I got Undertale about a month after it came out. But Earthbound was definitely in the later half of 8th grade. But yeah, I can't help but think about like the friends I have made and like the ones I've lost, which there's definitely a higher ratio of the latter than the former. But I think I value those friends I still have, which to be honest, there's very few that I still see in real life. Because I mean, there's been a lot that's happened in the past 10 years. Like when this came out, I was like in middle school, like just starting it basically. But now I'm still in college and doing stuff. I have a job and all these things. Like I didn't know if I would ever get this far because I wasn't sure about like my future. I never really was. And I'm still not sure today. But maybe just for now, I think maybe I'll be a little bit okay just for today. I mean, I don't know what will happen tomorrow. I don't know what will happen later today, but I know right now I'm okay. And I think that should be peace enough for me for now. But I remember this Steam review I made for Undertale. Dated on... Let me see here. Yeah, I'm just scrolling here. December 3rd, 2025. And I last edited it on June 29th to edit it for the Deltarune thing. But December 3rd, 2015. I just said awesome, purely awesome. I would really enjoy a sequel or another game similar to this. So, I got my wish, I guess. Which, yeah, that was awesome. I'm glad that Deltarune is a fairly different game from Undertale, but I think there's definitely some core um, differences of it. I think that it's supposed to be a subversion of the genre. I think it's a subversion of the game of Undertale too, which was always subverting like RPGs in general. I don't know about JRPGs. I don't know the difference, but Undertale was meant to make you question like, hey, what if the monsters you kill in a normal RPG have like families and stuff, and like your choices really matter in the game and can shape the outcome of the fate of monster kind. In Deltarune, they're claiming that there's only going to be one ending and that your choices won't very much matter. But I believe that Deltarune will subvert that somewhat, and that our choices won't ultimately the ending will be the same, but like it will be a little bit different depending on if you like befriended the Darkners and recruits or not. So that I think that's supposed to be more. I think that in that case it would be more a little closer to real life, because maybe we won't like change like the world like as an individual. Maybe as a collective we probably would change a lot of things about our culture and society, but as an individual it kind of sucks because you just feel like you can't do anything. But maybe we can just like maybe we can help others and they'll help us and we'll lift each other up and like touch the lives of other people. I think that's what's meant to be said there. But I'm thankful for this game. It's a great game. I felt a lot of emotions during it. I definitely teared up a lot, especially during the segment where you're walking through a new home, which I'm not gonna spoil it, but I was definitely tearing up at that in the neutral route. So it's a great game. I'm very thankful for Toby Fox for making the game, and I'm thankful for Temmie for making the art, because her artwork is iconic and it's amazing. And I'm thankful for them working on Deltarune. Maybe one day I'll try to do a no-hit true pacifist run that's like, I don't know, restricting stuff like, oh, I have to buy like the every $9,000 item, like the spider's bake sale thing and the Temmie armor and Temmie college, and only wearing the stick and bandage, and not skipping all the text because of that one frogget in the ruins, and just putting on silly restrictions like that, like just doing a no hit like that, which I think theoretically is impossible, but I feel like it'd be fun to try that. But I might try it out on a different save so I can get like the not soulless pacifist ending, because I did do a lot of genocide runs in middle school because I was just flexing that I could beat Sans. And yeah. I guess I shouldn't have said the Sans thing. Oops. I think everyone knows about that, but unfortunately, but I didn't. But it sucks. Sorry. But yeah, I think this is definitely also the game that got me into other indie games. So I got into a lot of things like Shovel Knight on the Wii U. I got into this is like The Binding of Isaac, which is probably my favorite game of all time. And yeah, I still check out indie games today. I'm probably going to find some more tomorrow. But then yeah, this, as I mentioned before, this is the game that introduced me to the Game Maker Studio engine. And despite like the hella delays, I'm still like having ideas and brainstorming my ideas for my own game. And I hope to like at least like satisfy the urge of like at least one person. But although it is a Wario Land thing, but like I haven't played like Pizza Tower or Anton Blast or anything like that, so it's not gonna be well, from what I've seen, those ones are just kind of like running around like really fast and stuff, and hitting things. But I was taking the more approach of like the Wario Land's sort of the Wario Land 3's collectathon, where you get like a key and then you back out to the world menu and you might find new areas unlocked with like certain things, like finding certain power-ups or relics. And like I really like that you don't have a life system and that you can just like you just kind of get punished for getting hit. Like Mario might like get thrown back or like wrapped up in silk or lit on fire, turned into like a ghoul or a vampire or a spring and all these things are invisible. And I like that like those things are like they can set you back, but they can also take you into a new direction. And my idea for this game was to have like a world, like a level 1 that felt more like a world 1 with the amount of secret areas and levels you could discover through it, like sub levels. That was my hope for it. I don't know what to call it. I'm not very good with the namings, but I do want to make it and complete it full someday, and I'll probably make it like super cheap and for like $5 because I don't need that money like that. But I just hope to do that. I mean, I have ideas for like a more story type game, but there's too many details to go into that, and I'm getting off track of the Undertale stuff. But if you're wondering, my favorite character now from Undertale was Flowey, because I really like how complex his sort of the sort of dissociative identity, the sort of in nihilism stuff is, and I think he's very cool. And I like that he's not like he's not like pure evil. He's just like a very, very disturbed flower. But yeah, I can't think much of anything. To the friends that I haven't seen in a while or that I've lost, I thanks for being in my life, even if it was for a brief time. Thank you to the guy that introduced me to this. I'm sorry with how things turned out between us. I hope you're doing okay now. And yeah, thank you for introducing me to this great game. And to the friends I still have today, the ones that I still consistently meet with, which you may be the few, but you are the most dear to my heart. So thank you for listening. If you got this far, that's it.